I fixed it. Don't worry.
The late Did you fix it? Okay,
There was an extra tab open with the live
gotcha.
stream open, but it wasn't playing until I hit go. And when I hit go, it started playing. I didn't know it was there. I'm sorry, everyone.
That's okay. You're doing it. You're doing a bad job, I guess, as one might say.
I'm doing the
It's
best I
someone
know
like
how.
Pat to do a bad job.
Best you know how. So I guess this is our live stream, right? I mean, are we live
We
now?
should be. Yeah, we're definitely live because I was echoing over myself. It was terrifying for about 20, 30
Okay.
seconds
So
there.
you can actually see us on YouTube at this point. I don't have that open.
No,
Yeah. Well, okay. We're a real professional operation here.
I know, right?
Uh,
We're learning.
But yeah, I
Ben
guess
want
if
me to
we're
drop off?
I mean, you drop off and drop back in. You can be our first guest if you like,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we have a
You
surprise.
guys
We might have a surprise guest later.
Oh my God!
We do. Look at that.
Oh
We do
no!
have a
Look,
surprise
there's our
guest. We
surprise
have
guest.
Batman.
Hi, Gunner.
Yeah, he's talking to us. Say hi.
We can't even hear him. He's so
But
quiet.
that's some
really?
great noise cancellation. But yeah. Why don't I guess I'll introduce the show and we can get started if we are live. You
Let's
confirm
do it.
that.
We are definitely
Right.
for sure live.
All right. So yeah, welcome to the Creativity Podcast, where art and engineering collide. Today in our podcast, we've got me, Pat Regan, and Brian C. Moses, of course. As a I guess extra special guest today. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about problems with your projects. So yeah, I always have problems with my projects, almost always, and Pat, I'm sure you do too. Probably
Always.
you too, Brian.
I am Pat's problems with projects.
Sure. Well, okay. I guess he left. Maybe he's there still.
I'm still here. Is he?
I'm still here. Oh, my volume. Somebody bumped my volume on my mic.
Right. Well, Brian, since you're here, why don't you tell us about your latest problem project? If you have a problem project, okay. Well,
I
that's
think my
podcast.
biggest problem. Yeah, my biggest problem with projects has always been time and distractions. Not a particular project in general, but I'm always, just getting distracted by a particular person who needs more attention away from the projects.
Right. So a little tiny Batman, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, he's in his little Batman pajamas.
Nice. So I suppose the children distract you quite a bit, which I can relate to that certainly.
Yeah.
So what is your project now? I guess you're working on a DIY NAS setup, right? Isn't that kind of your whole deal, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's my thing. I just finished it off last week, and got it published. I always want to do well for search engine optimization. I always want to do one in the beginning of the year so that I can get the DIY NAS 2020 keyword. And this year I did not get that at all. I missed badly. It was
So how, some people watching, if there is anybody watching, I mean, what exactly is a NAS and what's a DIY NAS?
okay. Well, a NAS is a network attached storage. It's connected up to for people like me, or us at home, it's connected to your network. It's additional storage outside of what you've already got on your home PC. I don't know about everybody else, but I have all sorts of media. The quadcopter GoPro footage is tons of gigabytes of media, and the hard drives on my computers weren't enough to contain it. And the hard drives on my computer were one, so there was a single point of failure for the things that I don't want to lose. So the value of the network attached storage is it can be another place to store your contents, and depending on how you set it up, you can put in redundancy within that storage so that you don't have to worry about a single hard drive failing and costing you all of your family photos.
Okay, so basically, I guess to summarize what this is, it's like another PC dedicated just to storing your stuff, and you might have several hard drives on it, and all the PCs in your house or laptops, whatever, can access this media at any time from your network. Correct?
Exactly. That's pretty succinct. And
Okay.
it really is. I mean, they're they sound fancy, but it really is just a computer with a bunch of hard drives plugged into your network. If you boil it all down, the lowest common denominator is it's a bunch of hard drives in a computer separate from the computer that you're already using.
Okay. So two questions: how long have you had a NAS running at your house? And then, second of all, how many gigabytes or terabytes do you have right now, or petabytes maybe if you're quite
Not quite that much. Let's see. I got into it in 2012. Um, and it started off pretty innocuously. I think I think we were at the Alan Wickers, Pat.
I bet we
Maybe.
always used to be at the Alan Wickers.
That used to be our favorite. Well, it still is our favorite restaurant. It's just not a restaurant anymore, unfortunately. But I was talking to Pat. I can't remember at the time, 3 or 4 computers in the house, and I didn't have them backed up anywhere. I had important documents in whatever early stages of Dropbox and cloud storage were out there, but that wasn't enough. You know, if I lost a hard drive in a computer, you know, that computer would have been just gone. So what I wanted to do at the time was build a network attached storage computer and to store backups of all of my computer's contents, you know, data contents on that particular machine. And now I think over the years, oh hey, there it is. It's right there. That's my NAS
Oh,
right behind me.
okay.
So right now I think that it's got 7 8 terabyte hard drives in it. So there's a total of 56 terabytes of storage. Two of those drives are redundant or contain redundant data. All of the data is across, help me with the math here, 5 of the drives. So there's 7 drives in there. So there should be 40 terabytes if I don't have my
Yes.
calculator.
I'm going to say yes.
40 terabytes.
Executive
I'm going to agree
decision.
with Pat. So I have 40 terabytes of total gross storage, I guess you would call it, net
Okay.
storage.
That sounds good.
It's a lot, and I probably don't use nearly. I can't remember it. The last time I looked at it, I had tons of free space, so I don't use very much of it. I just happen to get good deals on 8 terabyte hard drives.
Hey Brian, hit your retweet button
That's your phone.
on your
Hit
phone.
my retweet button.
Hit your retweet button.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. I've been actually messing with a NAS myself, with Raspberry Pi NAS, but honestly, I've had some problems with it. It seems like I'm always trying to I don't know. It seems fine, but it never seems quite fast enough, and it just seems like seems a little sketchy sometimes. As much as I like the Raspberry Pi, this just hasn't worked out for me quite as well as I'd hoped, I guess. But, you know,
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi is awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. I've done a few different projects with them. But I think, you know, with the Raspberry Pi NAS, you've got to use some sort of USB to SATA adapter, and there's enough adaption and not enough CPU horsepower on the Raspberry Pi.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's the case. I don't know. I just know it doesn't work quite as well as I'd hoped. I think sometimes you'll see people rip on the Raspberry Pi. It's like, oh, it's a terrible computer, or whatever. I'm like, well, no, it's not. Like, I mean, they try to make it into a desktop computer, and certainly it legitimately can do that. But it's an amazing device for embedding into things, and I think that's what where where it shines, I guess. And I guess it's an educational device too, which is pretty much what it was meant for to begin with. So
Yeah, and they always have those Pi Zeros for sale at Micro Center down the road for like $5 all the time.
yeah, well, they say, okay, it was a $5 computer. Really, they're getting so cheap. I'm just going to wait until they pay me to take a computer, have one. No, I mean, that being said, I've got like, I don't know, several of them actually running in my house and several more in storage. So, I'm a big fan. So if anybody from Raspberry Pi is listening, definitely call in and, we
Yeah.
mean no offense.
Ask a question. Tell me why I'm wrong about the Raspberry Pi NAS, because I probably am.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, just don't say that too fast, I guess.
Raspberry Pi. Yeah, that's the tongue twister for sure.
Yeah. So I guess Pat, what kind of problems do you have on your projects these days?
Well,
Or do we have anybody that wants to chime in? I don't want to, if
this
there's
is
any
a good
callers.
question. I have so many windows to be looking at here, Jeremy. I'm doing my best. I don't see anybody piping up, so it's gonna be my turn to talk then. I'm gonna guess.
Okay. Well, yeah, I get. Well, first of all, why don't you tell people just specifically how to actually get into the
This is
chat if they
a
want to?
good plan. Down in the description, right down below my face here, there's a link to Discord. Brian's pointing at it too. And if you click on the link in Discord, it'll join you to our Discord server. And Discord's kind of like I don't want to say it's like IRC for normal people. Text chat stuff, but it also has voice and video channels, and we're in a video channel. This is a screen capture of a video channel, so we can plunk you into this video channel, and you can have your box right next to us, and you can talk to us in there.
Okay, yeah. So like once you get in
Talk
there,
to these
what do
people.
you have to actually click on once you get into the Discord server?
I haven't newly clicked on a Discord server in a long time. I think it'll
Well, I
pop
mean-
you in the main
Okay.
text
It'll
channel.
pop you into the general channel, and then over on the side there's a voice channel subheading, and if you expand that, there's one called live stream?
Yep.
Question mark, exclamation mark.
Okay.
And
yeah,
that's
and then
where
you click on the click on that, I guess, and then
Yeah,
that's,
I have it wide
what
open
we do.
because I didn't figure we'd have a lot of spammers in there. If we do, we'll have to lock it down. But we can do that
once we
after.
lock it down, I guess. So yeah, we can do that in post production or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that we do that. Not that we do a whole lot of editing on our podcasts.
No, I haven't
I
seen
mean-
much stuff go missing, much of what I've said. So you're doing a good job, Jeremy. Or
Yeah,
I am.
well,
One of us is.
I saw that last one. I should have cut it off a little bit earlier before the coffee break. So apologize to that. I think I said let's go to the coffee break, for about 30 seconds. But all that being said, Pat, what are you working on? That's
Well, I have a
problematic?
mechanical engineering problem that I've been trying to solve.
Okay.
I'm going to reach down next to me here. I have diagrams over here. Wait till you see this. I hope I've done a good job.
Well, I'm an unlicensed mechanical engineer, so
I don't
ask me, and I can give you advice. You can take or leave.
Is it safe if you're unlicensed? Are you going to get me? Am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to have to pay a fine or anything?
Well, I think it's kind of since I'm unlicensed, you're just kind of asking me and knows nothing about, basically my advice is worth the same as the next guy. So, or girl or dog or, whatever.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say your advice is worth 3 times more than Brian's, at least.
Okay. All right. Well, he's probably an unlicensed engineer as well, I would guess.
Oh, I'm very unlicensed.
Okay.
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but I've been working on these carbon fiber quadcopter frames for a long time. I feel like I have a smart idea.
Okay.
Usually you have, on this size quad, there'd be 2 screws holding each arm in. And I decided to try it with just 1 screw per arm on this one. And this one, I machined this one poorly. There's a, my code has a little tolerance variable between each of these doodads, and I made that too big. This has, I don't know if you can see this, but these wiggle around. I did a bad job. But on the next revision, I decided to see what had happened if I added a screw. There's a little dog bone shaped thing here. Boy, I don't have a screenshot of that. That holds, you can see the front of it here just a little bit. And the back, it fits in between these two arm pieces. It's all black, so you can't see anything. This carbon fiber is terrible stuff like that.
Sure.
But this worked great. This is so rigid. This is ridiculously rigid. But I hate that screw right in the middle because it's right under. You can see all my electronics sit there in the middle.
Okay.
And if something goes wrong, if I need to replace this screw, I have to take everything out. That would be horrible, right? So what I've got here is, now this is an experiment. This might not work. I'm going to switch our view on YouTube. Oh, you're not going to see this, Jeremy. Oh, this is a bad job. YouTube can see.
I can't see it either. If you feel left out, Jeremy.
I feel stupid because I was going to have you guys look at this, but you guys can't see it because you see me still.
Well, I was thinking
I've seen this, haven't I?
But listen to this. We got a potential guest that wants to call in.
Oh, so, awesome! That's even better. That's way more exciting than me.
Let's go ahead and why don't you finish up what you had to say, and then we'll get Taylor in if he.
I'm going to have trouble saying it without being able to point to the picture, and you guys won't be able to see it.
Okay. Well, why don't Taylor, if you want to log on,
show the monitor.
Brian's absolutely right. I feel stupid doing this. Oh, it's overexposed. Can we fix that?
That's one thing.
Yeah. Put an ND filter on it.
Oh God, you can see the.
Well, Pat, I gotta say, if you look at it on the YouTube feed, it's actually pulling that up. So
real big. That was what I. Yeah, but then you guys, if I'm going to ask you about it, you couldn't see it. I've done a bad job, Jeremy. Is what's happening.
Okay.
Now I'm dim.
Well, I think we'll point out this is our first live podcast, so
I don't think you're dim at all, Pat.
Thank you.
Oh,
hello.
Got somebody? It's got a medical symbol on it, so I think that's appropriate for not.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey,
we can now.
Awesome.
Surfer Dude 13, is that you?
Yeah, let me see if I can get camera. You see me now?
I can see you perfectly.
Hello.
Awesome.
How's it going, man? Are you Taylor?
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about your Glowforge experience, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys on Reddit?
Yeah. You were talking to me actually. So yeah, let's hear your story. I thought it was super interesting. So you guys, let's hear it.
Yeah. So I got the Glowforge about 6 months ago. I saw it. I thought it was the best thing ever. I saw a few people endorse it and everything like that. I knew it was cloud-based, and I thought, oh, yeah, this is going to be a great idea. Since I've had it 6 months, I've had it replaced 8 times.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
on replacement number 9.
Wow.
In fact, I just got an email 2 days ago from Glowforge saying I will now be on replacement number 9. I'm waiting for the new replacement.
And the whole thing,
Glowforge,
you have to ship it back, and oh my goodness.
No, see, Glowforge, unlike our Orion lasers or any other laser, if like the laser head goes bad, that's a whole new laser. They can't send you out just the laser head. They send you a brand new laser, and it's such a pain, honestly. And the customer, like anything that goes wrong, they'll try to say, "Oh yeah, we could do this or that," and then they say, "Oh, well, we got to replace it." The first 3 units, they blamed on lightning strikes. They said the lightning struck my house, and that caused the laser to go out. And then the 4th laser, and it was just excuse after excuse, and it's crazy about how these Glowforges are. And the thing that how people get you, and it's such a genius evil, because if you go online and you ask, "How's the Glowforge?" everyone will say, "It's awesome, it's awesome, it's awesome. Here's my referral link." Because if you send a referral link out and someone gets it, they get $500 off. of the laser, but you also get $500 or $600 in Glowforge credit.
Well,
So
that
it's
being
either
said,
or.
Glowforge will probably be sponsoring our next podcast, right, Pat?
Yeah, we could use $500.
Yeah, I could use $500.
Yeah.
But
And
I mean, just stick up for them a slight bit. I've never used one. I don't know much about them, but I guess they did honor the warranty, what, 8 or 9 times at this point. So that's
oh yeah,
that's
no,
kind of nice.
I agree with that. The biggest thing is what if it's already been replaced going on 9 times now or whatever, what's it going to be in another 6 months when I'm out of warranty?
Yeah.
And because it's right off the bat, it's $250 just to ship it to them. And then they'll say, oh, well, their warranty replacements are usually around $3,000 to get a warranty replacement. Because like I said, they don't fix the machines. They say everything's calibrated at the factory. So if your laser head goes out, because the laser head is all one thing. The focusing in the head, it's all done manually focused. Everything's done in this laser head. And so if anything goes wrong with that, they have to replace the whole entire machine. They can't just send you out a brand new head for it. And so my opinion is, for someone that has no idea, because I'm a part of the Glowforge Facebook group, and there's people that post in there all the time. What's Google Chrome? How do I open? What is Google Chrome? They don't, because Glowforge is all software based. You have to use the internet to upload your items and everything. It requires the internet. So I went in knowing that it required the internet, because I thought, okay, if I lose internet at my house, I can just use a mobile hotspot on my phone. What I did not think about is Glowforge's servers going down.
Yep.
A few months ago, their servers went down it was about, I would say, 3 weeks, and would go up and down. And sometimes they would acknowledge the issue, but other times they wouldn't. And it would be where because there's basically, think of it like a Raspberry Pi is running on this machine. That's pretty much what's running on the Glowforge. And it's honestly, as soon as you turn it on, it's automatically phoning home or phoning to the Glowforge servers, and that's how it centers itself. So if you have no internet connection, the Glowforge can't even center itself and home itself properly, because it requires the Glowforge servers, to home itself. So when they were having server issues and stuff, people would turn their machine on and it would just get stuck in the middle and not know what to do. And sometimes they would acknowledge, yeah, there was an issue, and sometimes they wouldn't. But it was such a nightmare having to rely on their servers and everything. Because if for businesses and stuff like that, if their servers are down, you're stuck on orders. You can't cut anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. So with that being said, you have a Glowforge, you're getting one back. Are you now? I know you've been considering getting a like a red and black laser, like I have,
Yep.
and Pat's used. Have you gotten that in, or
In fact, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm cleaning out the garage. It's coming tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic.
That's great. That's I don't know if you saw, I put a video out on my how I set mine up, and the first step was selling a lathe that I had, pretty much, to make space for it. But yeah,
I plan
what kind did you get?
So I got the red and black Orion laser from Amazon. It is the one with the motorized Z bed and the autofocus probe, the 60 watt, which we all, of course, know it's going to more likely be a 50 watt. Yeah, too,
Right.
exactly. But yeah, hopefully, I did have some problems with the seller on that, and I don't know if you saw my post on Reddit about that. I ordered it the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and I ordered it, and Amazon quoted me December 3rd through the 11th. That Black Friday, I got an email saying it shipped. It's like, awesome, it shipped UPS. Well, I checked the
Red and
tracking
Black
number.
Friday for you.
Yeah, and I checked the tracking number, and it showed 4.3 pounds. I was like, what? And it said it was going, I'm in Florida, and it was putting it towards, I'm in Orlando, Florida, and it was putting the package all the way to Miami. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? So I contacted them and everything like that, and they say, oh, it was a shipping glitch. and everything. And I was like, okay. And so I posted it on Reddit asking, hey, is this a known issue? Um, and someone else reached out to me, another member, and he said, hey, this same thing happened to me too. They just shipped mine, and it's a 4.3 package going. I'm in California, and it's going about 3 hours away from me. And I was like, oh no. And so I reached out to them or Orion again, and they said, oh yeah, it will update, but you have to give us another 3 weeks. And I was like, 3 weeks. And they said, due to the holidays and stuff like that. And I was like, all right. So I reached out to Amazon just in case, because right now all my red flags are going off, thinking, okay, because in Amazon's, when you go to my Amazon order page, it shows delivered. So it shows the Orion laser delivered, successfully delivered, handed to the resident at the front or at the warehouse. So I contacted Amazon and they said, oh no. So they emailed the seller, and the seller reached back out to me, and magically I had a tracking number with it's coming tomorrow via UPS ground or UPS freight, 400 pounds and everything like that. But yeah, other than that, it was like I was a little on pins and needles, but now it's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be
well, that's
better
great.
once it arrives. That's when you get less nervous about these things.
Yeah. That was why we were like trying to figure out. I was like, how are we gonna get this thing up the driveway? And then they
Yeah,
did
yeah.
they couldn't give me a time frame. I called because I've read some people would get calls and they said, oh yeah, we would be here between this and this. Called UPS, no time frame. They just say it'll be here tomorrow. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, when I got mine, I remember they were supposed to call me, but I went out to lunch with my wife or something, and I get this call, and I'm like, "That's weird," from an unknown number, and I call them back, the same area code as me, and like, "Yeah, I'm outside your house." I'm like, well, "I thought you were supposed to actually call me before and tell me what time," but as it happened, I was leaving anyway, and I guess the guy was real nice. He put it in my garage for me, but then I had to actually undo the packing with a hammer and chisel and stuff, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
it probably took me a good month before I had everything really where I wanted it. I mean, your experience might be different, but just putting like a safety switch on it and ammeter and some
Of
other
course.
stuff. It's I will say though, I was shocked at how well made it was, and I was also shocked at I did a little square and measuring this. It was right spot on. I mean, your experience might be different, but um, yeah, I'm quite happy with the purchase. For
Yeah.
$2,000, you
Oh yeah.
really can't go
That's the thing.
wrong.
It's like you can't argue with. I mean, I spent almost $6,000 on this Glowforge, and it's already been replaced 8 times. And I was like, you can't really go worse than what I'm currently have right now.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess now I guess yeah, I guess the whole cloud-based stuff makes me a little bit nervous. I know, me and also Brian, I believe, have been doing some home automation stuff and making sure to keep it, in-house, literally and figuratively with a Raspberry
Yeah.
Pi, right? That's what you're using too, Brian? Home assistant,
I
I
actually
believe.
have I'm using Home Assistant, but it's on a virtual machine.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
but same thing. And I don't.
Brian's above. He's reached a new plane above the Raspberry Pi for his machinery.
Well, did you guys hear about Glowforge's new premium service though?
No.
No.
Oh yeah. So in the Glowforge app, we've always had access to the beta trial. Yeah, that included like you could insert shapes and clip art and text and everything, and that's been free. In October, they sent everyone an email saying, "Hey, look, the beta is going to be ending November 1st. If you want to get in on it, it's $15 a month." And the $15 a month would allow you access to the clip art still, the text tool, the shape tool, stuff that you can do in Adobe Illustrator, real easy. But it's simple because once you already have the file imported, you could just, if I needed to cut a little drill circle or a hole in my project, I could just do it right there in the interface instead of having to go do it in Illustrator. And they said it's $15 if you sign up for it now a month, and they got you all that, and you now get premium fast lane service for your renders. So when you upload your design, they put you in what's called a fast lane, and so depending on how, because sometimes some projects, depending on how heavily your project is, how many lines, different colors and cuts and graves and whatever, could depend on how fast their servers rendered your project before your Glowforge could cut it or start the project. So this new premium Fastlane service supposedly speeds it up. I have noticed. I did sign up for it because not if you did not sign up for it by November 1st for $15 a month, it goes up to $55 a month for anyone that signs up for it now, and it's crazy how much they're charging for it. And some people were even saying that the regular standard processing, they slow. Some people have said that they've noticed it's Glowforge has slowed it down, the processing if you're on the free basic tier of it versus going into the fast lane. Honestly, it all depends. I've had projects where I've done the have you seen those elf in the box quarantine boxes and stuff like that?
No.
No, but that
No.
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I was doing some of those. How about those snowflakes that say that magic word F 2020? Have you seen those?
I haven't like it already.
I've been doing those and stuff like that. And when you send them up to the server to process it, at one time I can send it and it'll be instantly ready within 5 seconds. The Glowforge button's already ready. But I could do it the next time, and it could take 5 minutes for the Glowforge servers to process it and be ready to print. Per se.
Well,
That's a big bummer.
Yeah,
well,
with the CNC, I'm used to keeping my G code around so I can run it over and over and over again. Same with the 3D printer. I'd expect you should be able to do that with.
Exactly. That's what I would love, and that's why it's like, because I mean, some of these things I've sold hundreds of these certain items and stuff, and right now my Glowforge that I currently have, I can only cut on the left side of the bed. If I move over to the right side of the bed, it won't cut all the way. So I'm thinking there's some type of mirror alignment or something like that that's causing the issue. But of course, Glowforge has to replace it. So right now, I'm only able to cut 4 of those snowflakes at a time. And it's a bummer because I have to cut it. And then I have to go wake up the computer, go back in Google Chrome, realign everything, wait for the server to take the new picture to refresh the bed, make sure everything's aligned, upload it back to the server. So it's about a 3-minute ordeal per one. And then hopefully wait the processing speed to process the Glowforge to allow it to print won't be as long either.
Well, I will say, I guess on a positive note, when you get the red and black laser, you don't have to deal with any sort of cloud stuff. Personally, I use Lightburn software. I need to buy that. I think my trial's up, but it's fantastic. I think it's $90 or one-time fee. I think they keep you updated for a year or something, but it's really great. I mean, I haven't done that much with it yet, but it seems like it'll be really good software, right? Not cloud-based or anything. So yeah,
I downloaded that. I've been trying to tinker with it a little bit. I got my webcam yesterday. I got the the cooler, the refrigerant cooler and everything like that the other day. So hopefully, and then I went to Lowe's today and I got the vent. So I'll be running the vents up in the attic, out the house. So hopefully, I'm hoping everything done correctly from watching everyone's videos and everything.
Does yours have an Ethernet connection?
Yes, it does.
Are you using that?
I have not decided if I wanted to do it Ethernet wise. I have a Ubiquity setup with the cloud keys and everything. However, my cloud key crashed. And I did not have a backup. So my servers running are all my Ubiquity, PoE, everything, my USG and stuff are running, but my cloud key is not. So I can't really pull on. I've just been too lazy to reset up the cloud key to readopt the network. So right now I plan on I have a MacBook laying around, just plan on using the MacBook locally. Okay. But it's something I probably would be interested in adopting here soon.
I have not done it the other way, but I really do like. Basically, I can take my Macintosh, like I'm using it in my office, and then I've got the laser cutter in the garage. I can take it out there, connect wirelessly with the Mac, and control it. I mean, it's great. I don't have to hook up any wires or anything. It just connects over Ethernet. Really great. The one
Now,
disadvantage with Lightburn at this point is that they don't use an IP cam. I don't think there's an IP cam interface, so it's you got to actually be connected over USB, I believe.
yeah, I asked that
I,
same question in the Lightburn the form as well, thinking if I could do that IP. Now, does the Orion laser, does it generate an IP when you log in, or do you have to assign it an IP?
well, I'm actually using it. Yeah, I've got a hard line to my garage, like a hard
Okay,
Ethernet cable, which
okay,
I'd recommend that too. Basically, I paid somebody to run that to my garage and to my office because,
I could have
well,
done
you
that
know,
for
I
you.
just didn't. Well, you live in Florida, as do I, and the attics here aren't exactly. I don't know which. They're not exactly generous, as you may have seen. I don't know. Um, yeah. So hope the laser is great for you.
yeah,
I think you'll enjoy it for
yeah.
my limited experience.
I'm hoping, and I'm just watching the videos and stuff like that. And I do want to say that I think for the basic user, that if you're not going to be using it for commercial use, I think the Glowforge is a good laser.
Okay.
It does do its job. It has made I have paid for that laser 4 times over already. So it definitely does its job, because I think I said it, mentioned it before, is in the Glowforge Facebook group, we have people in there that ask, what's Google Chrome, or how do I log into this? Like, they're very computer illiterate. They don't know what Wi-Fi router is and stuff like that. So it's stuff that's people, like, if they're having problems with that, they're definitely going to have problems working Lightburn, or
Right. So
aligning mirrors and stuff like that.
so I guess in Lightburn's defense, you have put a lot of hours on your machine or machines, I should
Yeah.
say. Okay. So
Depending on this machine that I just got, has been the the one that I've had the longest. I've had this one for about 3 weeks now, 3 4 weeks. Because this was just replaced. Most of them I've been going them through like every few weeks. This one, due to the holiday season, has been put through the ringer. But one of the other downsides I should mention for anyone that is watching it, the way that they designed the Glowforge to clean it is a pain in the butt, especially the Pro unit. The Pro unit has an additional heat sink, so everything vents out to the left side of the Glowforge. It has its own fan and everything. Well, on the left side of the Glowforge is also the controller, whatever the Raspberry Pi controller is, the coolant tank, the coolant system, but it's also your heat sink for to cool the laser, the heat sink for your cooling system. And you cannot get back there the way it's designed. You can't get back there to clean it out. And the fan that's in there, and there's a grill on the back of it to prevent you from sticking your fingers in there for the fan. But the you can't. It's very very hard to clean the Glowforge. So depending on me, I'm having to clean it every other day because I've been running it nonstop. But it's eventually anyone that's going to have it, it's going to run into that problem where gunk is going to build up on those heat sinks, and it's going to cause the laser. The laser will go into overheat mode, so it'll start cutting and it'll stop, and it'll say overheated, waiting to cool down. And sometimes the Pro is the whole reason that you're not supposed to have that. It has the enhanced cooling, so you're not supposed to have that overheating thing. And that's exactly what it was. Is the heat sinks was just so full of gunk that I had to go in there and take a plastic scraper and scrape it all out with a vacuum cleaner. So that's something to also keep in context for anyone that is looking at the Glowforge. They are not easy machines to clean. They are extremely intensive machines to clean.
so I guess let me just think because I feel like my experience being able to kind of get into the red and black laser and be able to do a little modification, work with electronics, et cetera, has been integral. I mean, I feel like that's a skill that I have that has been very useful. But I feel like the Glowforge maybe is geared towards somebody who does not want to get into it and maybe doesn't want to do as much. Is that who that was kind of?
Yeah,
You think the
exactly.
right customer?
I think that's gonna be based for the customer that just wants to do or arts and crafts, or someone that wants to try to start a business. I think it's going to be a great machine if you want to start a business and you want to do an order here or there. I think it will be a great machine because I mean it is. I can go and put in a piece of wood and align it just right, and with the Glowforge UI puts it over, and it's going to put it exactly where I want to engrave. It's going to engrave exactly where I'm telling it to engrave for. So I think the average person, I think it's great for. But I think, or even the starting business. But if you're going to start producing orders and stuff, I would not recommend it. I can't. You won't be able to trust it. In fact, I just got an email that just popped up just now saying Glowforge maintenance. There's a 1 or 2 hour maintenance window at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and you're not going to be able to use the laser. So, so that's just one thing to keep in mind right there. Is if you're going to be busy or something like that, you're going to want to look into another. The full spectrum Muse may be something that you may want to look into. Something like that does not require an internet connection and stuff like that.
Do you know how many times I've on my CNC I've said, "Oh yeah, this thing I'm cutting, it'll probably fit on this piece of scrap." Well, not scrap, but I'm cutting things all over the place on a piece of carbon fiber or something. I said, "That'll fit here," and I hit go, and then halfway through, I'm like, "No, yeah, it just misses." I would love to have a machine that would tell me, "Yeah, that's not going to fit there, Pat. Don't even try."
Yeah, it does, and even if you're like your material, like if your design is off, it will not allow you to cut or engrave. If your design is off the bed or out of the margins of the bed, it will actually turn gray, and you cannot push print. So you won't go off. It won't allow you to go off those boundaries and stuff like that. So you don't have a ruined print.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want a gift for your 6-year-old or something, Glowforge.
Yeah, and it's extremely safe. That's the other thing is as soon as you lift the lid, it turns laser off. You can't unless you want to physically bypass it with magnets and stuff like that. For someone that is younger or something like that, yeah, I think it may be or definitely not worth the pro. I would recommend the basic. It's cheaper. It's pretty much the same exact thing. They say the pro is faster. We've done contests in the Facebook group where we've done the same file, same settings and everything, and the pro finishes like 5 seconds faster. So I don't recommend the price difference of the pro. Get a basic, try it out. If it works out, get your monies back and everything like that. But just be aware of those caveats is pretty much the biggest thing.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for filling us in on that. That's good info.
Yeah, this is all neat information.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, guys, and I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity. I saw your video last week and stuff like that, and talked about the Glowforge, and I immediately thought, oh yeah, I need to go and chime in on this. But
yeah, it's always nice to meet somebody who's meet interesting people. I guess you are our first ghost book. You're our first guest, period. So I shouldn't say it's always interesting to meet new people. It's
Yeah, I've already met you, Brian.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Brian's our guest too. But anyway, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna try to do a little video and stuff like that, how setting everything up, and try to do somewhat, RD Works and stuff that does those videos that what's his video channel name, that the guy in Australia or Britain that's doing all those videos, the walkthroughs and everything.
I think I like the guy. He had like one video where he's at like the spa or something. This is a laser therapy spa or something like that. Or
no, it's the old videos, and he's the one that walks through everything. RD Works or something like that. RD Works Learning Lab.
Yeah. Well, RD Works, that's the software that comes on the CD with the red and black laser, isn't it? Or like a pirated copy of RD Works. I don't know if you're right. Legit.
So maybe that guy knows what he's talking about.
It's the older gentleman that he's from Australia or Britain, and he does all the rundowns. He breaks down. Apparently, he had an engineering degree or something, so he's breaking down. He has like 176 video playlist, all these lasers and stuff like that. And so I wanted to try their older videos. They're back in like 2016, 18. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll go and try to do something like that for basics and set up something like that.
Yeah. Well, before you go, where can we find you?
So Taylor's Everyday Life. I started doing vlogs and everything like that, and do a little bit of videos and reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, I plan on doing something like this and do setting up the laser. But I wanted to start doing like designs, and because there's so many great designs on Etsy on like products and projects, I wanted to like feature some of those on how to build them and stuff like that.
Sure. Well, cool. Well, thanks a lot for telling us
Yeah.
about your experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, guys.
definitely. That was awesome
I appreciate-
information.
I appreciate you guys giving me the time, and good luck, and hope to join you guys again soon.
Yeah, well, we'll
Awesome.
see. Yeah, so cool. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.
You too.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
So yeah, that was so thanks so much for calling in. That's great. So let me think. I guess Pat, would you want to talk about your problems, or you
Well,
want
I
me
wanted
to?
to. I
okay.
had, I watched your video about your CNC, your laser today,
Oh, thank
and
you.
I was, numbers were going through my head, and all of you guys are on the other side of the fence. I want a CNC and not a laser, and all you guys want lasers instead of CNCs. But I think it's interesting. You guys can get that 60-watt laser. It's in an enclosure. It's ready to go for about $2,000. And that's less than I paid for my, hobby grade. I've kind of high-end hobby grade. I don't know. Shapeoko, the big one.
Right.
And I have to put it on a table, and I had to put it together, the whole thing, from,
Yeah,
from
no,
a box
no,
of parts. It's a good value. What
no,
you
I
guys are
agree.
doing, the laser.
I mean, I've got a CNC myself. I got it from Romax, and it's probably a bit more than you spend. I mean, not to, I can't brag about my cars. I can brag about my CNC.
Yeah, do it.
But no, it's it's a really nice machine, but it's probably, to be honest, it's probably a little bit more than I need. But it's like for like half that price, you get a laser that's, it does have its limits, but so does the CNC. So
Yeah.
it's all whatever. So you want to talk about what you're doing though? The I guess the Kestrel, right, is the name of your design.
Well, this is the bigger one. What was
the buzzard or something?
How am I going to do this so you guys can see it? That's the where to go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Do you want? Perhaps I could talk about my problems, or
sure.
You want to talk about?
I'll talk about your problems. That's fine.
Did you have something? I don't want
to. I have to drop off. I'm gonna have
okay,
to.
Man.
I'm gonna have to bail out. I've got a meeting. I get to go work over. You can't see it. Well, I guess I could move the camera. My work from home office is right over there.
You have to put Batman to bed?
Well, he does need to go, but that's gonna. I'm not bad cop tonight.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, yeah, good talking to you too, Brian.
Talk to you guys.
Have a good one, Brian.
I'll watch the rest of this after my meeting.
Sounds good. Well, actually, that's a good time to do our coffee break. Pat, we can't forget.
It is,
since we're actually doing this live. So
this is true. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we're the Creativity Podcast. You can sponsor us at patreon.com/thecreativitypodcast, or better yet, leave a like, or not better yet, but also good. Leave a like or comment, subscribe, whatever, to us on YouTube or on SoundCloud. We love that. And we want to give a shout out to our top 5 Patreons.
We sure do.
Which are Brian Moses, Pat Regan, which is interesting, Positive Waves, and Stephen Booker. We really appreciate that so much. It just means it means a lot that somebody's willing to literally, it means a lot that we give enough value that you feel
it makes me feel like I have some worth, Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly. You have a worth that has now been quantified.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
But yeah, we appreciate that. And yeah, anything else you want to add in our little coffee break?
Like, subscribe, and comment. You already said that though. So I should drink my.
Yeah, we should drink our drinks. Delicious.
Mine's just water today. I did a bad
Yeah,
job.
mine's watered down lemonade. So, it's like
The ice is melting.
the DIY diet drink. You just put all the water into your lemonade. But yeah, Pat, if you wanna figure out maybe how you can share your screen, I'll maybe just describe the problem I've been having, or
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
You go, and I'll be ready by the time.
So I've got two problems. I mean, I've got lots of problems, lots of projects. I mean, I've probably got 20 projects going on at any time. So the overarching problem, I think, of me and anybody else is just finding the time for anything. But I do have one thing to show you guys, those of you guys that are watching. Let me bring this out. So along with this laser cutter, we certainly don't want to make this into the laser cutter show, but this is kind of a tangentially related item. You can see here on the screen, I've got several 3D printed parts, and
You sure do.
yeah, and this is, I mean, what would you say this is, Pat? A full roll of filament?
I'll bet you that's a spool of filament. It really does kind of look like it, doesn't it?
It's a lot of filament. I mean, each of these are, I think, close to
Ooh,
150
they're thick
millimeters.
too.
Yeah, close to 150 millimeters in diameter, which is the extent of my 3D printer bed. And this one took me well over 10 hours. I mean, these are by far the largest prints I've ever done on my machine. But what it is just let me get that one, just drop it down.
I won't tell anybody you dropped it.
Sure. But what this represents is my my new laser cutter. The fume extractor, like, you could just pump it out to the environment, to your neighborhood and stuff, but I didn't think my HOA or whatever would appreciate that too much, neighbors, whatever. So what I did was I built this adapter to go from the stock exhaust port. It's like a blue hose that comes out, and this goes into actual purifier. It goes through a carbon filter, I think a HEPA filter or something, whatever. So I made this this ring. It's just a normal ring with a flat top. It goes from one diameter on the outside to the other diameter on the inside. And I can just describe this here. It's like it looks like a giant donut that's been squished on the sides. So if you think about this, when air is flowing past it and it goes from one diameter to another, as I said, I'm not a registered engineer, but as a layman yourself, what do you think would happen if you got a bunch of air just flowing into this, trying to go from a
bad
large
thing.
diameter
It'll start doing some kind of swirly doos around the edges and stopping itself.
So you got all these swirly doos here, and when I use this, I noticed my airflow was not great. It could be that the purifier wasn't good enough, or it could just be that all these swirly doos, as you put it, I think that's a technical term. Turbulence, exactly. You weren't doing the thing. And I'll give myself a little bit of credit. I put a slot on one end so I could put the hose on, clamp it down with the hose clamp, and it would sit there. It worked okay, but didn't really take out as much fumes as I wanted. Well, I can't just leave well enough alone, or not good enough alone. So I decided to make a new design that was much larger and actually has
even more filament.
It's got a basically like a angled 45-degree angle on it, so it goes from one thing to another. Got some nice radii on the inside and the outside, and it's even got a little slot for the clamp to hold itself. So
nice.
so now it goes on the tube on the purifier, and it takes everything in fairly well and fairly less friction. And this little thing on the bottom, it's got a spacer, and there's like some welds and stuff. So this holds it up. Works pretty well, but the thing is, when I crank it down, since this is kind of on the top or something, I don't really know, it didn't hold very well. It wasn't having a good hold on it. So even though I spent a lot of filament on this and a lot of time, I decided to do one step further and build something this one, it's just one piece. The blue hose from the laser cutter goes over the outside, crank it down with a hose clamp, and then on the one side you've got these magnets embedded in it.
Ooh.
This is the first time. Yeah,
Magnets
this is the first
are awesome.
time. They certainly are. This is the first time I've tried to actually pause a print and embed magnets. So if you can see here, you can just barely see the magnets poking through, and this holds it nicely. I'll admit it's even those neodymium magnets. Maybe I should have used more or doubled them up because it does come off a little bit, but with a little bit of cord wrapped around basically supporting it to a shelf that I'm using, it fits it pretty nice. It just clamps right on and stays there. Did have a couple problems going through it. I think one of these might have been when I tried to put the magnets in, and it didn't correctly stop the steppers. It just stopped working, so it dropped out.
Yep.
But this is what's going on the inside. You just got these holes, and yeah, so that's a problem I had and a solution that I came up with.
That's fantastic. The part with the magnets. Now I'm remembering watching your video earlier today, Jeremy, and I haven't slept since then, but I don't remember everything. Is this
Sure.
the part with the magnets? Is this the part that drops down looked like on top of the purifier thing, or does this?
Yeah, yes, exactly. This drops down on the top of the purifier.
Yeah. So gravity
video that
helps too. The
Well, the
magnets
video-
and gravity.
Magnets and gravity. I guess I could make it really heavy. Make it out of tungsten or something.
We'll fill it with lead.
Yeah, but no, the video I put out today, I actually cut this part out. So, I guess spoiler, I'm gonna have another video dealing with this, specifically with this fume extraction in this nozzle. I'm thinking I might do some sort of Arduino deal with the external stuff and just kind of test if it's actually working or not. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, you can guess, but until you actually hook
Measure.
up some equipment, hard to know.
Yeah. Do you have one of
So-
those CFM flow rate? I don't know why I'm holding my hand up like I'm holding on to one. Those little things with the little fan in them. Or are you gonna make one?
No, I don't. I was thinking I could make one, and then like I guess don't tell anybody, but maybe I could get it featured, on somewhere.
Yeah.
hopefully.
I want to.
Um,
I'm excited about this. I really needed something like that about 20 years ago. I would have loved to have an air meter thing. They were expensive then, and I didn't know how to
Yeah.
make one.
Well, maybe after my next video, maybe you will.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So Pat, you got a.
I might. There's a chance I'm smart here, Jeremy. I got to look up here to see. Let's see if this will work.
You know what's funny, when you were messing with it before, I looked at it, and you actually had that's interesting.
Is
Just
that?
watch it stream?
It just says your stream is. Does that say that? We've just paused this. I don't want to. I need to see this.
Here we go. I can see your.
You could see it. You could see me rotating a thing. Oh, it's going real slow, but you could see
I
this
can't see it
moving.
rotating, but I can see it. So,
This
yeah,
is
you've got a
almost.
quad-
This is almost so smart. Except on my screen, the one that I'm streaming to YouTube, the third window just says your stream is still running, and it's paused. It's not showing it to me, and I'm dumb.
Well,
I'm not gonna even get. Oh, there we go. There we go.
it's showing it to me, and
Well,
I'm not seeing it on the YouTube feed, but
you will when it catches up, because I feel smart now. I hope
Okay,
nobody
well,
makes fun
that's-
of me for that.
it's okay.
So I was kind of explaining this before. I'm trying to find a way to not use 2 screws on each arm of the drone. So I've got this little red guy up here in the front. Why is it spinning that way? Judy, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Come on. This little red guy, he's also embedded in here. These are all sheets of carbon fiber. All these little... And I've got this funny shaped thing. It's like a... Well, I'll show you the one that I have. I used this in a quad today. This is a... I call it a dog bone. I bet there's a technical term for this. But the way this sits today, there'd be, an arm here and an arm here. the front two arms grab onto the top, and then the back two arms, and this ties them together so that they can't move. Instead of doing that across the middle, I'm trying to do it. I need to point with the mouse pointer with this little red guy. One between the front two arms, and then there'll need to be one between the back two arms. Am I doing a bad job so far? So the way these quadcopter frames work is you generally have two plates. You have the arms sandwiched between two plates, the blue one and the green one here.
Okay.
Oh, and these are not rendering great here. Let me hit the render button. This is going to take forever. I'm sorry, Jeremy. This is leaving some green, but there's a little, you can kind of see these are T-shaped slots. This little progress bar is going real slow here, Jeremy. I'm sorry. Oh.
Okay, well, maybe you can just describe it.
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. So that little red guy has two little eye-shaped things on each side. So the idea would be you put the two plates down, and one pushes forward, one pushes backward, so that they kind of lock in. So once you put the 4 screws in, that can't move front to back. So when you try to wrench the arms, like if you try to grab them like this and give them a good pull,
okay,
that little I-beam thing will hit either this plate or one of the two plates. My problem is, and I think I know how to fix this, and it's at 994 out of 1,000, so I'm going to be able to point real soon here. The problem is,
it's a locking mechanism, in other words.
It's a lock. Yep, it'll lock the arms from moving. It'll keep the two. Usually, you would have a screw and a nut and a screw holding the two plates, the sandwich of the arms together. But once you slide these together, the eye pieces will hold the quad together, so it'll be more rigid on one axis. See, the bummer here is now it's all yellow. Like, see that hole right here? This square? The square hole that goes through the arm? It goes through everything. That will fit this part of the I-beam. This little... I-beam is the wrong word. My biggest problem with all this stuff to communicate it is having a word to use for every single part. And I'm bad at that. But so
words are difficult sometimes.
It's a bummer this is all yellow now. But you can see it's kind of locked in there on this plate. And the slot here where it would pass through is in the front, and on the bottom I reverse that. The slot is in the back.
Okay.
So I'm hoping is when you try to wrench the arms one way, it'll hit against one plate, and when you try to wrench them the other way, it'll hit against the opposite plate. And the screws through I'm pointing with my hands. This screw should hold everything in place. But the bummer here, the problem I'm having, is that this giant hole through the carbon makes it a lot weaker. And you can tell me if I'm smart or stupid here, Jeremy, but what I'm thinking about doing, instead of having this be an eye, it'll be, I want to cut this off. Cut off the outside piece. So it's kind of just a hook on each side. I don't know if it'll be enough, though. I don't know. I'm not even sure what question I should ask you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's oh look, we got another guest.
We do. It's Positive Waves.
Positive Waves.
He's muted.
Oh.
It's okay.
We have to unmute him, or does he?
No, he'd have to. That's his choice, I think.
Okay. Yeah, your rendering just came up, so I don't know. It's it is what it is, I guess.
We'll do a better, if we have to do this kind of thing again in a live stream, I'll know how to do a better job next time. I'll be more prepared.
We do appreciate you guys sticking with us. Yeah, Positive Waves. It looks like you're muted on the, there you go. guess if
Yep.
you just click the
And his mic is still muted. His
yeah, so you
deafened.
gotta click the mic. I guess deafened.
Yeah, down at the very bottom of the. Well, it depends on if you're on a phone or a computer.
Yeah. Well, we'll let him
If I hit
pop
this,
in
will this
when
unshare
he
my
wants to.
screen?
I'm hoping based on his icon here, I'm hoping he's going to talk about his jetpack.
Oh, does he really have a jetpack? Look at that.
I don't know. I was kind of joking, but it's possible. I mean, some people do. He could. I think I heard Charles Barkley say one time. He said, "Somebody's got to be me. It might as well be me." So, maybe he's the guy with the jetpack.
That sounds like something Yogi Berra would say.
Yeah, I get maybe Charles Barkley is the Yogi Berra of basketball.
That is,
Maybe.
I'm gonna believe that. I choose to believe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for attempting to join us. Hopefully, Positive Waves can come back if he likes. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Another. I guess maybe we should just talk about your quadcopter a bit later because I don't.
Sure. Yeah, we can.
I don't feel like this.
Yeah, this is not doing well. I'm doing a bad job.
I don't feel like the rendering's quite working out well.
No, and I'm scared to close this window because I'm scared it'll take me away. Oh, here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's still here, I think.
Oh, good. It just had that. I got scared when it gave me the warning, and it grayed everyone out.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I guess we were going to go till about 9 anyway, so we can.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk a little and then get going. But I wanted to talk about this PCB that I made.
That is an interesting shape.
Wait, it says how'd the stream go?
It'll go away. That's my fault. When I close that, it'll go away in about 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I just had to click. That was when I went because I thought I broke everything.
Well, let me talk about one other thing that I was doing. I made this printed circuit board. A company, Next PCB, actually contacted me about like sponsoring some stuff. And this podcast itself isn't sponsored by them, but anyway, all that being said, I had this idea that I could use a vibration switch on a PCB, and it would basically pull a AT Tiny 85 to ground to basically reset it, and it would just go to sleep after a while. So basically, this PCB straps onto a bike's spokes on the wheels. So when you're pedaling, the AT Tiny goes on and then turns some lights on. So it's kind of like a safety thing. So like at night you could be seen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea, but the problem is once you get to a certain point as you're pedaling, this the vibration makes it go on, or the centripetal acceleration, I guess, makes it go on. But then at some point it just goes on all the time. So you're just holding on the reset button, reset to the processor the whole time. So I've got a few ideas how to fix that, like maybe to, instead of doing the reset, just have power applied to it. Or I might not even use a processor whatsoever. I was thinking I could just have the LED routed into the battery through that switch directly. Maybe I could even put a capacitor on, so if you slow it down, it would still stay on for a few seconds or whatever, just in case. Anyway, I just
you've got me wondering how fast you have to go to get 1G into the 1G of centrifugal force as opposed to the real gravity.
Here's my question, Max. I was hoping maybe somebody could answer this or have some insight. So let's just assume that the rotational velocity is the same, correct? So it's going around and round at, say, 1 RPM. So let's say you fasten this toward the center of the hub, and it's going, it's fairly whatever. In reality, it's not moving much in the Cartesian XY plane. Okay, you get that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? So is the acceleration higher there, or would it be higher as if you moved it out away from the axis and it's moving more in the Cartesian plane. I'm almost thinking to be more in their at the higher diameter, but I'm not.
It has to be.
I'm
You know,
not actually sure about that.
everything I know about generating artificial gravity on a spinning space station tells me that you're going to get more G's at a lower RPM the farther out you go.
Okay.
So if
Yeah,
the,
I
if the
guess
RPM's the
I
same,
guess.
because you travel farther. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, no, I guess it's not. I was thinking as you get further in, you're rotating faster, but you're actually not rotating faster. You're rotating
Yeah.
the same amount. Just so yeah. Okay, yeah, I think it would be farther out. Good, I think. But if anybody has any actual insight and actual knowledge about that,
Yeah. Tell
I'd
us
love
why
to
we're
hear.
wrong.
Tell us why we're wrong. So, speaking of that, do you see that show on Netflix? Was it the one where that lady gets?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. The one where the lady goes to the moon and she's going to go to Mars, and it was actually fairly terrible.
Oh, I did watch this. I know what you're talking about.
You
It's
watched this?
yeah, I think I did. And
Yeah. What's the name of that? It's with that lady from
the Karate
uh,
Kid.
The Karate Kid.
Yeah, are we talking about the same show?
I never saw the Karate Kid.
Well, it's not the first one of the sequels. The
It was all right. So
she
we'll
was the
just
new
consider.
Karate Kid at some point.
We'll consider the bulk of the podcast over. Now we're going to ramble for a while, I think.
Yeah, we can cut this. If this is the part where if it goes to tape, we can just yeah.
It's like Homeward or something, or like Away. Maybe it was Away. It was
I think it was Away. I remember
Away.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go
All right.
with.
Well, that show just made me so angry because she starts calling her house, and there apparently there's no like delay between like
no until they get too far away, and then it's just gone. You can't talk anymore.
Okay, I guess I didn't get to that.
Yeah,
point,
don't get to that point. It was terrible.
Oh yeah,
so bad.
Christina says Away, and I suppose she's right.
But, oh my God, Jeremy, we've done a bad job.
Why's that?
I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn this around. There's been chat in YouTube, and it's been behind my camera the whole time, so I haven't been seeing this.
Yeah, it's okay. I answered. I took care of it.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, Jeremy. I was afraid.
Under Jeremy Cook DIY.
Oh, you really did. Look at you.
Ego.
Oh,
yeah, I'm on top of it, Pat. I mean, we haven't really established the who's the producer and who's the host, and we're really feeling each other out here.
That's true.
But yeah, so the thing that made me so mad about that show was, first of all, she's using like a normal iPhone or something on the space station, and it's like, okay, that's kind of ridiculous. And then like on the second episode or third episode, she's doing some sort of spacewalk, and this guy is this guy from India, right? And well-educated NASA scientist. He's telling her how far to go in feet. I'm like, first of all, I don't think you use feet in your native, in India. I would think they use meters. And second of all, if you're working in NASA with all these other international scientists, there is no way you're telling her how far to go in feet.
It's true. And this is long after we accidentally crashed that probe for converting from feet to meters and doing it wrong. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. But...
I don't remember. 20 years ago or so, the NASA engineers were doing something in Imperial, and they did the math, converted it, put a decimal point in the wrong place, and instead of landing, it crashed on Mars.
Well, I mean, I guess...
So future NASA on TV should know how... They should already have solved that problem.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Very angry. I mean, that being said, you can either use metric or you can use the system that put man on the moon, and I guess probably invented the internet too. I mean, computers. I mean,
well, you brought up that PCB earlier. You showed us that PCB, and I was realizing, because I need to order something, so much of PCB layout is Imperial also. Ounces of copper per square foot, and the thickness of your copper is in ounces per square foot. I think it's per square foot. And
plus, how much cooler does Imperial sound than metric? I mean,
I agree.
Like on Star Wars, you have the Empire versus the Rebels. Both of those sound pretty cool. What if you had the Empire versus the metrics?
That'd be terrible.
Obviously, you want them to win, even if they're kind of evil or whatever else. And yeah, finally saw the last of those movies.
The last ones are the newest ones. The ones that just came out.
So, Positive Wave says centrifugal force F equals m times b squared divided by r. Look at that. I should really know that as a degree, but not certified engineer.
An unlicensed
engineer. B squared. Okay, I'll have to do a little calculation on that. So thanks for chiming in. Yeah, thank you. It's I guess that's what this show's about, right? It's like the
we need
like
help.
The car talk of making stuff. If you get that reference, I don't know.
I'm excited that we've been talking about lasers so much. I mean, I almost forgot they existed until you reminded me.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, certainly we don't want to have the laser podcast, but we certainly interesting.
No, but it's timely, and that's okay.
Timely, yeah, absolutely. But why would you say lasers are timely?
Well, because you just bought one and you're using one. It's timely for us, and we just drag everybody into our mess.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. I was thinking like maybe like some sort of space defense thing or something.
Yeah. Well, and lasers are just always cool, always.
Always. So they're always timely. Actually, I heard we shot down an ICBM with a Aegis cruiser or something. So maybe that was used lasers.
I hope that was a laser. It's always better if it's a laser.
Let's see.
Oh, 3D Weeby.
3D Weeby. Oh, I always thought that was 3D Dweeb, but sorry. Maybe I've been mispronouncing your name in my head for so long. You wouldn't be the only person. Matt, right? Matt Regan.
Matt Regan. That's close enough. I can be Matt.
Close enough. Mars probes lost due to simple math error.
Yeah, this has got to be what I remember.
Again, I might be an unlicensed engineer, but I know it's 2.54. I can remember that, or 25.4 if you want to convert to millimeters.
Yep. So that's the one I know too. Yeah, I used to have a dial caliper that was inches. And boy, that was hard to convert everything for 3D printing because all my CAD work was millimeters. So I have to do math. I had to go back to Harbor Freight and get a digital caliper and just forget about that. That was too much work.
The official pronunciation is 3D Weeby.
Weeby 3D.
Weeby 3.
Well, no, don't say it the way I said it. I mean, I just mean.
You just made that up.
We are 3D. 3D. We are.
Oh, 3D Weeby.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get that at all. So that's actually fairly clever. A little above my head though. So 3D Weeby.
I wish I had one of his fantastic 3D printed NAS cases here to hold up to the camera because it's so pretty. It's so nice.
So pretty. Well, listen, I think that's probably a good place to end the podcast / live stream or whatever.
I think you're right. And if I did a good job, I clicked the record DVR in YouTube because I did definitely forget to record locally. I did a bad job there. I see it not lit up here.
Okay. Well, the only time I ever did a stream like this before, not like this, but it seemed to record it automatically, I think. So
I hope so.
Anyway, if Pat recorded it, then you can listen to it later. If not, consider yourself privileged to be able to listen to privileged or punished, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it was something for sure. Definitely something.
Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks, Pat, for joining me. And
Thank
and,
you, Jeremy.
Brian and Positive Waves briefly, and Taylor, of course. So,
Taylor. I wanted to thank Taylor, but I
yeah,
was worried that I forgot. I didn't pay attention when we introduced him. I was too busy clicking everything. I'm
yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah, I guess
we'll have to
yeah,
do
you
this
can-
again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Have a good one.